The night I was born, the hospital had run out of pink blankets, so I was wrapped in a blue one instead. My dad carried me into the hospital waiting room where my family were all anticipating my arrival. You could imagine their confusion when my dad walked in with me wrapped in blue instead of pink. You could only imagine what happened next when my dad had to prove that yes, I was actually a girl. But it was clear from that moment that colour was always going to play an important role in my life. I've always been drawn to colour, whether it was clothes, homes, interiors, art. Anything that was colourful always caught my eye. And this hunger for colour initially drew me to work and manage retail fashion stores, as I loved working with colour and helping people through the aesthetic of clothing. My late 20s saw me leave fashion to go and study the visual arts. I was looking for a change of expression and to explore my creativity further. I really enjoyed learning how to express myself with colour, mostly through painting. More recently, I co-managed and directed a Hobart-based art gallery, as well as run my own solo art practice. But I wanted to expand my knowledge and understand colour more, so I recently added the study of colour therapy as well. I find great joy in being an artist, but it wasn't until my first solo art exhibition in 2022 that my colour journey was more deeply transformed. I was trying to figure out what colours to use for dot pieces I'd been creating, and I decided to use the 6 main colours: red, orange, yellow, green, blue and purple, and focus my exhibition on colour and our relationship to it. I wanted to bring colour to the forefront of people's minds. After all, it's something that every single one of us choose and interact with daily. I found it interesting, the colours that people were drawn to, what colours meant to people, and why they might love a certain colour or dislike it immensely. Some really loved blue, others did not like red. Could there be a reason why people were drawn to one colour over another? And could the qualities that were associated with each colour perhaps be linked to what that person was going through or feeling at any given moment in their life? Could colour provide some insight and understanding into our subconscious? Could colour have the power to influence us and even change us? There was so much for me to be curious about when it came to colour. I began to research the science and psychology behind colour in order to understand how it can affect us and our emotional state. And I learned that there are no actual colours in the world around us. That's right, no such thing as colour. Now, as someone who is so passionate about colour, they begin to study colour therapy and work as an artist with a lot of colour, this new fun fact had me a little bit thrown. No such thing as colour? Bear with me. It's all about how we perceive colour. Light waves that come from the sun are absorbed and reflected by everything that light hits. These reflected waves enter our eye, activating the rod and cone cells which are situated at the back of the eye on the retina. These then transmit the light-triggered signals via the brain, and it's only when all of this has occurred that we see colour. So colour is our brain's translation of light vibration. We are not responding to a colour, but a vibration or an energy. Colour is also the visible part of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is one single continuum of radiation, colour sitting roughly in the middle. At the red end of the spectrum are the longer, less energetic, harmless waves. So visible red blends into invisible infrared. And this is where we have TV, waves, microwaves, and radio waves. On the violet end of the spectrum, visible violet blends into invisible ultraviolet, and we are exposed to this type via X-rays, blue light from our phones, and UV rays. So we understand and acknowledge how the invisible aspects of light's energy can affect us and even harm us, hence why I call these more harmful waves of energy. So it's equally important to acknowledge the visible aspect of light, colour, and how that can affect us too. Each of us are reacting and responding to colour every single day, and for the most part without even realising it. Let's just imagine for one moment that you could only see the world in black and white. It would make the task of getting dressed in the morning perhaps a bit easier, wouldn't it? You would look at your shirts or your ties and your socks or your skirts and you'd just pick one. How many of you hesitate over which item of clothes, or any object for that matter, to choose when it comes to colour that could be exactly the same if it weren't for the colour? Because we are not choosing one object over the other, because in this case they are exactly the same. We're choosing a colour. And why is that? Why are we drawn to certain colours on some days, and on other days we go a bit differently? So in that moment when you are deciding over an object, light waves are absorbed by the object you are looking at and reflecting a frequency that your eye and brain will translate as a colour. Then, depending on which frequency you are most drawn to in that moment, you will pick one and go about your day. Your brain translates that and says, this colour over that colour, or this frequency over that frequency. We are not responding to or choosing a colour, we are choosing a vibrational frequency or energy. Isn't that incredible? Shifting our understanding around what colour is from something we just see to an energy is what really blows my mind and has opened the door for me to dive in to use and understand colour in a more meaningful way. Einstein said, everything is energy and that's all there is to it. And well, I happen to agree with that statement very much because it also essentially means that everything is colour too. We associate colour to so much of our everyday lives. For thousands of years across the world, colour has been used to make us feel something, with blue often being used to invoke a sense of calm, for example. Colour can be used to make us know and recognise things, like when emperors or priests' robes were purple, we would associate them with wealth or a higher purpose. Colour can even make us do things, with red often being used to inspire action. We even have sayings such as green with envy, seeing red when angry, or feeling blue when sad. Another example, the night I was born, with being wrapped in blue instead of pink, and pink being associated to girls and blue for boys. So each of you already know and understand so much about colour. So, how else can we see colour psychology influencing your decision making? We can look to elements like marketing and the impact that colour can have on consumers and buyers of products and services. We see this in logos or colours used within businesses to evoke certain feelings or to contribute to making us feel something. It is no coincidence what colours are used in society, as we now understand and know that colour has a direct impact on our mood and even how we behave. You now know this because each of you are aware that each colour has a different frequency that when entering our eye through to our brain triggers a certain response. Remembering, we are not responding to a colour but a frequency. Okay, so now for the fun part. Let's take a look at the qualities that are associated with each colour, because I want you to walk away not only understanding colour better, but with greater impact in your life. Now, the human eye can see up to 1 million different colours. I'm just going to do the main 6, beginning at the lowest frequency colour red and moving up to the highest frequency colour purple. Red is the colour with the lowest energy and longest wavelength. Despite red having the lowest electromagnetic energy of all the colours, it is one of the most hottest colours and vibrant hues. Red is an intense colour, and its qualities include vitality, strength, action, energy, and purpose. Red is a highly stimulating colour to the heart and the blood flow. It is also linked to sexuality, passion, and desire. So it's no coincidence that it's a colour used in the red light district. Due to its qualities of action and energy, and because it is a highly stimulating colour, we often see red used in logos of fast food restaurants, to give you another example of its use. Orange is the colour of creativity, fun, and courage. Orange is a colour full of expression, fascination, and enthusiasm. Orange is a very extravagant and extroverted colour, the colour of sociability, ambition, and confidence. Orange is also linked to fertility, to sexuality, fruitfulness, and the feminine energy. Yellow is a highly stimulating colour, but to the nervous system. Being the lightest and brightest colour, yellow is full of optimism, curiosity, and playfulness. It is also linked to mental strength, inner power, and confidence. And it's a great colour to aid learning when used in small amounts. So the first 3 colours, red, orange, and yellow, are warm colours that can help to stimulate. Let's now look at the 3 more cool colours that can help to bring a greater sense of calm to your life. Green falls in the middle of the spectrum and is the colour for love and balance. Quite often we see green linked to nature, as it's a very soothing and healing colour and is also associated to rejuvenation. Blue is the colour for clear communication and self-expression. And so that's why we quite often see politicians wearing a lot of blue, and we also see blue used in social media logos such as Facebook and Twitter. It is the colour for trust, purpose, and integrity. Purple is the colour with the shortest wavelength and highest energy of all the colours. Purple is a very transformative colour and can aid with spiritual and physical strength. Its qualities can include elegance, wisdom, inner knowing, wealth, and the supernatural. It was considered an ancient colour, royal colour in ancient times. Using the qualities that you now know about colour and bringing that knowledge into our everyday lives can help provide us with a powerful map and guide towards better navigating our inner world, unconscious mind, and emotions. And this is what made my recent art exhibition so fascinating and led me from being an artist just using colour to studying colour, was that I understood that colour is so much more than what we see. Using colour therapy in your own life can be as simple as just bringing the awareness that you now have about colour into your daily routines. So first thing in the morning, exposing yourself to natural sunlight and green in nature where possible. Intentionally choosing what colours you want to wear throughout your day to help evoke certain feelings or remind you of what qualities that you might need, such as more confidence, joy, action, or strength. Take notice of the colours that you've used in your bedroom. Do they help to calm you? And the colours in your workspace, do they stimulate you and inspire you? If you have your own business, do the colours that you have used within your branding align with your values and what you want people to know and feel? The list goes on. And for the colours that we don't like, you could ask yourself whether disliking a colour could in fact mean that you need that colour and its frequencies more in your life. What I have learned in working with and helping people throughout fashion and the arts is that the use of colour often led people being more happier and more connected to themselves because of the expression and the aesthetic of the colours that they were choosing to wear or use or surround themselves with. Colour has always made an impact on how we feel. I believe colour, the visible aspect of light's wavelengths, is a powerful tool that can help us to better navigate ourselves and the world around us, especially when we are coming from a place of purpose and intent when choosing colour. So, the next time you go to put some clothes on, watch a politician speak on the news, grab a cheeky little cheeseburger from McDonald's, log into Facebook, or even when you're standing in nature, be aware of the colours surrounding you and the colours that you are choosing to be around. Take notice and advantage of how colours make you feel so that you too can have a deeper relationship with colour and light. Thank you.